All right, hey everybody, Wildcat here, and of course we're back with Assetto Corsa. I hope I'm saying that right. Not 100% sure on that one. Um, so we're here in the main, just in the main menu where you start up, and of course, when you go to options, you have your normal settings, and things that you can change your profiles, your general settings, which was set on. Of course, where we come to change your video. And so for this first little bit, I'm just going to do the single screen. So what I wanted to show was I did do some of the career, some of the first ones of the career, which is, so we'll just go ahead and this is where you start. And of course you have to do this time trial, and then, you go into this one and this, so you kind of, as you get your positions, you move forward, right? And you have to finish third, and at least third. Uh, so it's the time trials are actually fairly easy, but it's when you're racing against the race cars it gets a little bit harder against the AI. But I'll explain that in a little bit. But what I wanted to show here was the here, if you click on this session part here, this will bring up another set of menus, stuff that you can change. Right, so, and then these ones are great, but you click on this one and then see you can do, it gives you other options and things you can change. As you can see, I got traction control on, ABS on. I know the ABS helps because usually when you hit your brake, you slide out if you don't have ABS on. The traction control, at least in this car, doesn't seem to help a whole lot. But anyways, I just want to show this, that you have a bunch of different options in here that you can change some of the stuff around. So let's come back here. So this is the first time trial. So let's just go ahead and hop into this. And something else in here I wanted to show that I can't do right here. And when this first come up, I was like, oh great, they got us racing go-karts. I guess you got to start somewhere though, eh? Yeah, when you do the career mode. So I'm just going to kind of not quite start yet. So if you move the mouse over to the right side, you get this huge menu that comes up. And now these are all things that you can put up on your HUD that you can see. So different things, like you can see how it brings up the time of day, and then you can move this anywhere you want in here. You can put it anywhere you want. Okay, so, and then if that's where you wanted it to stay, you can hit this little pin here and it pins it there. Now you see you can't move it no more. And if you don't want it up, you just hit that. And then if you want it back, well, you click the top left corner if you don't want it, but then if you want it back, you have to come back into this menu and then select it again. And when you do, you'll see it'll pop up right where you pinned it, which is kind of neat. So there is, as I said, there's a whole bunch of different gauges here that you can add to your HUD. Like you could add the, oh, there we go. It didn't come up the first time, or at least I didn't notice. So there's your shifter. I'll show you, say what gear you're in. Of course, I have it on this one here. Come here. All right, there we go. Get them on there. So that was just something I wanted to show, that you do also have that option there. All right, so let's go ahead. So like I said, this is just time trials. Well, I had to restart. This is kind of what you get for mucking around with stuff. Somehow I managed to put it into manual transmission mode. Of course, right now I don't want to do that way, so. Alright, so one of the things is, especially when it comes to AI, racing against AI, is that they go around the corners flawlessly, basically, right? They know exactly where to slow down, they know exactly how fast to go around the corner. So when you're in equal cars with them, that makes it really hard for the human to be able to get ahead of them or beat them or win on them. The other thing that they'll do, oops, too slow. I slowed down too soon there. But anyways, the other thing they'll do is they will follow this line on the road, literally. So you can kind of use that in some ways to your advantage a little bit. That's not very good. So yeah, you can use that. So basically when you come to a corner, because they like to stay right on the line, you want to be on the inside of the corners. If you're on the outside, because what will happen is they push you out. If you're on the outside of the corner, if you're over here as you come around, because you see as you come out of the corner, they're going to move up to where the line is and it'll push you off the track. So if you can, you always want to try and get on the inside of the corners. The other thing is that generally once you get them behind you, because they like to follow this line, you got to be going pretty slow before they'll actually try and get around you or try and pass behind you. But I just wanted to do a couple of laps in this car, and then I will switch to the 3D and do a couple of laps in that one, or to the VR headset. Do a little bit of bopping here between 2D and VR. So this will be my last lap on this one, and I'll hop into the VR. Alright, okay, so I'm back, and I'm in my VR now. Hopefully that's recording this as well properly. Alright, so typically when you get into it, at least I find it, I'm not quite in the right spot. I have to center the screen. And so in this game you just use control spacebar. I use the left control spacebar to do it. That's not a problem. Okay, so we're in this. We're on the same track, same car, and all right. So as you can see in this one, I have the map up there. I don't know if I didn't notice it in the other one, but all right. Anyways, here we go. Now, what I found really neat is you see me do a couple laps in the 2D, and here we are in the VR. And the view is so different in VR that I have a hard time doing this. So my recommendation completely is for most people, if you're going to be doing this with VR, then do your racing with VR. Because switching between the two really gets to you. It's gonna hinder your driving. It's gonna make it a lot tougher, that's for sure, because you get used to one way and then you got to get used to another way. And I don't know if I can do well right now because I haven't really done a whole lot of the racing in VR. I've done a lot of racing obviously in 2D. I got lots of other race games, so even though the game's a little bit different, it's still, you have your kind of little bit more in the groove than compared to being in VR, right? Now, I don't think I did that at all with the 2D. So, and like I say, it's absolutely amazing the difference in view that you get in this, and it really throws you off. The other thing is, when it comes down to racing too, is that you need to do the tracks over and over again, like get to know them. That's the only way that you're gonna really be able to win one of them, is basically by knowing them. And that does take it takes time. It's not, you can't go around the track 3 times and then think you're going to know it inside and out. Alright, so you can see, I don't think, what am I doing here? I'm not sure what I'm getting for a time with this, but my whole point I wanted to show is how different this is in VR compared to, with me doing it in 2D. I got used to doing these first few races in the 2D, and when it come to VR, and I was like, wow. Before I did the recording, of course, I tried it in VR a little bit to see it. Geez, I was all over the road. I couldn't even keep it on the road hardly. So it does make a big difference between the two. Alright, so I think when I get around there this time I'll end this, and then we'll throw in racing against the first set of cars that you got to go against the AI. I think they cheat, in my own opinion. Being able to drive flawlessly, I think it's cheating. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and end this. Alright, so here we go. I finally got the right one. Okay, so these are in the little mini cars. Let's see how well I can do this in VR. I haven't even tried racing in VR against the AI yet, so this will be my first time. Okay, so like I say, the thing with the VR is, the thing with the AI is that, like I said, they drive flawlessly pretty much, right? They know when to slow down for the corner, exactly how much, how fast they go around the corner. So a lot of the times I have found, and this goes for most of the race games I have, is that somewhere along the line in the first lap, you got to figure out a spot where you can get past a whole bunch of them. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. And like I said, typically once you get them behind you, you can pretty much keep them there. As you see, they like to follow that line flawlessly. Of course, I got damage turned off, so maybe once I become a little better of a driver, I will turn damage on. I don't think this one. I don't think the cars show damage profile in this one, though, like they do in the other ones. So far I'm not doing too bad, but this is probably where I'm going to blow it here. You see, I can't. You see how they just slow down without sliding? I can't slow down that fast, or I end up sliding. And of course, now this is where you get where they're just going to keep pulling away from you and away from you. And like you said, the hard part is the fact that you got the same motor and everything that they have, so you don't have an advantage that way to try and get them. And like I said, as you can see, my first lap I was right on their ass all the way around, and now they're already starting to get out in front of me or pull away on you that you can't, and they're not going to catch them because like you said, they get the same pickup I do, so they're just going to get further and further ahead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this one more time, but what I'm going to do is let's go for a restart here. All right. See if I can do this here. So what I found on this one, I don't know how long it took. It took a while, a couple hours anyways that I spent on this track in 2D, trying to, because you have to get third as the minimum in order to pass this. before you can go on to the next stage. And that was the thing, is I couldn't, wasn't getting third. So this is where I found that you can kind of squeak up on a bit, see. Now the hard part is, of course, just trying to get in front of, one of these set of guys here. And like I said, because they drive flawlessly, it's hard to do that. I don't think that you'd ever get first on this race. Just because, you see the black guy, he doesn't have to deal with any cars or try and push his way through some cars, so he just keeps getting faster and faster on you. If you go through the entire session on these things, when you go through it, you see, I just blew it there. I knew I was going to, and that's it. You're done. I'm not going to catch up. But that's how easy it is to, and that's it. They'll just be gone. But again, as I said, you can see they're smoking their tires. They're slowing down in that corner. They were, and you see me, I got my brakes down, and I just slide right off the road. Doing human against the AI, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. But anyways, it is quite fun. I enjoy doing it. It can get frustrating at times, but hey, that's the way it is. So I just kind of want to go over those things, and I probably won't be doing going too hardcore with the racing in this until I get my new steering wheel, because this one is just, I thought this was a kind of a force feedback one, but it's not. And it's, like I said, it's just on a spring, so it's hard to get fine tuning out of it, or fine adjustment, where you just want to move over a little bit, you move the wheel and the thing shoots over on you. It's a pain in the butt. But I'll definitely be doing some more, and when I get my new wheel, hopefully be able to get into it a lot better, and we'll see how that goes. So for now, I'm just going to say thanks for watching my videos, and hope you all take care, and we'll see you in the next one. So Wildcat out for now.